window, Super Bowl window, and I know you had Damian Woody say he's closed. We talked about it, but one of the ways to keep the window open, you draft well. Now, there's other ways. The Patriots have showed other ways to do it. As long as they had Tom Brady, they was able to keep the window open, but they also was able to, utilize castaways from other teams, who lost value or who didn't work, and put them in their system, and they produced. Randy Moss, Kyle Benoit, some Lions fans may remember Corey Dillon. It was just a number of guys they were able to, take from other. So they pretty much kept their system alive through Tom Brady and through resalvaging. They had a plug-and-play system. They knew the type of player they wanted, but they rarely hit in the draft on those type of players. So they would take the players that other teams, thought was bust, that fit their system, and they would plug it. So there's a number of ways to keep longevity alive. And Tom Brady had a lot to do with that, but also their ability to resalvage players also had a lot to do with it. But the one thing about the Lions, they draft well. And, the most important part about the draft, one may think, probably would be, in early rounds, but that meat and potatoes of the draft, day 2, second round, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, undrafted free agents, the Lions do a very good job. You know what I'm saying? When you talk about guys like, F.A. Melifano, when you talk about guys like, even a guy like Hendon Hooker is starting to get value across the National Football League. You know what I'm saying? So, when you start kind of looking at what they're doing in those rounds and the type of players that they're finding, if you draft well, you know what I'm saying, that's going to keep your window open, because guess what? I don't have to, use all my salary cap on big name free agents. I'm going to continue to draft well, sprinkle free agents here and there, and keep the window open. And also, you got to have stability at the quarterback position. That's when your window is open, and when you got a franchise quarterback, that's when the window stays open the most. So you got to have stability at the quarterback. Everything could be perfect around a football team, and they could be ready to win the Super Bowl, but if you don't get quarterback play, remember Jacksonville. They had the offensive weapons, they had the defense and everything. They had everything. But they didn't have a quarterback, Blake Bortles. They didn't have a quarterback. So that was an issue. But yeah, they continue to draft. And the only real issue is the durability part. That's it with the Lions. It's just the durability. Getting guys that can come in and be durable. You look throughout the draft, Pascal, Enrique, their first 2 second-round picks, just wasn't able to be durable. Finally, pretty much got healthy this year. F.A. Melifano, kept getting injured. Don't forget, they starting safeties they both drafted this year. They came into the season injured. People forget that. They came into the season injured. I think Brian Branch came in with a boot on his foot, and Kirby Joseph had a hip injury. So it's just durability. I think he got to start to be like, okay, man, but, let me target durability. But it's kind of like when you take chances on guys with injury, Jameson Williams, come with injuries or injury prone, the thing about it is, it's like, okay, they're going to pay off down the road. And you starting to see F.A. Melifano pay off down the road. You starting to see Pascal and Enrique pay off down. Because without them this year, man, they wouldn't even have made it as far as they did. That's a fact. Without them this year, they really would have been ass out. So that window going to be open because he draft well. He has a strategy. The only time they really seemed to have a good draft strategy before he got there was when they brought in that guy from Denver, Brian Sanders. And they had one of their better drafts that I seen them have when they brought in that Brian Sanders guy. Remember? So yeah, they brought in, they had in one of their better drafts. So that window is going to be open. You continue to draft well, and you have stability at the quarterback position. So, as long as they stable with Jared Goff, and they continue to put pieces, and you can already tell he's been preparing to overturn the offensive line. They're prepared for Sewell to go to left. They're prepared eventually for that Gio Ginobili guy to take over for Graham Glasgow. They're preparing for what's the brother name? Kevin Zeifer to take over. Christian Mahogany played well last year. Maybe you bring back Zeifer for one more year, but you ready to let Mahogany go right now if you want to. So they're already kind of, they're preparing, they're plugging guys in, and they're doing a good job of plugging guys in and finding the right mix, and they're predicting where they need to get stronger at. And like I said before, they put a lot of capital into the defense. Was good this year. When that defense got to the middle of the year, they started to really, come together and be an elite defense. But then you had Aiden Hutchinson drop. Then you had, eventually Lee McNeil drop, Carlton Davis drop. Remember Ennis Rackstraw, another guy, I don't think he had much of an injury history, but they drafted him and he just kept having soft tissue injuries this year. So it was a lot of pieces they didn't have at their disposal. It's a lot of pieces that they didn't have at their disposal. So that pretty much became, very unfortunate. So it's just got to be durability. They got to go for durable guys, but I mean, they're at the point where the drafting is cheaper. And he built depth quick. How many drafts have this guy had? 3 drafts, right? I think he's had 3 drafts because the first year, they had a bad year. Then that second year, they almost made the playoffs. Oh, then last year, they did make the playoffs and, lost the NFC Championship game or the other year. So this will be his 4th draft, and he's cleaned it up. He cleaned the cap up. He cleaned, they got a lot of depth. Go 15-2 regardless and have all those injuries. He built a lot of depth. So really now it's about just, tweaking his strategy a little bit more and like, okay, we need more durable guys. But that window going to stay open as long as they got consistent quarterback play from Goff or whoever it is. And, they draft well. And they just seem to have a good eye for talent. That talent just got to stay healthy, and that's it. You start thinking about the guys off top that just ain't been able to stay healthy. They drafted Hendon Hooker with a foot injury or a torn ACL. J-Mo with a torn ACL. Josh Pascal had, his health issues. You know what I'm saying? Levon Zaworki, they knew he had a back injury coming in. F.A. Melifano ain't been able to stay healthy. Ennis Rackstraw came in, beat up. So them just the ones I can think off the top of my head. That's 6 players. And what I say, 3 drafts that ain't, historically been able to stay healthy. Or they came in with an injury. 6 players. So let me know what you girls and guys think. Check out Detroit Lions Talk playlist. Hit the link tree. Find me on X, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Amazon, Kick, Twitch, the whole 9. Appreciate the love and support. Peace.